Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. We're working on the city of Hardwood, and from last episode, we built a wonderful residential area, but didn't really get a chance to expand on our industrial, and that's going to be the main focus of this video. Before we expand on the industrial, I do want to touch on police stations and fire and rescue stations. While we've unlocked them, I'm not going to put them down just yet. I know crime rate is a little bit high at 16%, and fire hazard is clearly high because we have no policemen. However, these are expensive buildings to put down. Look at the upkeep costs of a firehouse. That's $20,000 a month, and the upkeep costs for a police station is $38,000 a month. So if we were to put these both down, which we can afford, we would double the amount that we're losing monthly. Now, in City Skylines, you're meant to lose money early game. As far as I'm concerned, it's very difficult to always be positive, which is why they give so much money through milestones. However, just because you have the money and can afford it doesn't mean you should waste the money unnecessarily. Think about it. A village of 1,000 people does not need their own personalized fire station and police station. We can just wait a little bit longer until we're in a better financial state, our economy is stronger, and then we can put them down. And our citizens will be happy. Let's take a look at some statistics here, if you don't believe me. Let's look at population. And we have a 0% unemployment. If I lived in a city with a 0% unemployment, I would be happy as a duck. You know, I would be the happiest camper. Then if we look at actual happiness, they're doing pretty well. They have large homes. The only thing they're upset about is unreliable healthcare coverage, which I don't really understand, because why do they need healthcare in their clinics? Or workspaces are safe? No. So what I want to do this episode is I want to expand on our industrial and just expand on this little grid we've made here for now. Maybe bring this road down, and I believe that we have some natural resources in this area as soon as I can find the tab. So I think that's fertile land, and maybe we can get a farm going there and even some forestry, which isn't purely industrial, but it might help it'll prevent our citizens from importing so much, and we can get stuff from the city of Hardwood itself. So let's expand the roads first. One thing at a time, let's work on the roads. Now you can see here that if we expand into this, our electricity grid is going to be cut off. Because the game is paused, it doesn't really matter, and we can fix it after the roads are down. So I'm just going to remove those for now, and hopefully I remember to put them back after and just get back to building. And just like last episode, I'm just following the lines, which, you know, that's not a perfect grid there. But what can you do? What can you do? Maybe we leave that spot open, actually. And this is a case where following the lines doesn't work. I don't like how this looks. So I think instead of following the lines, I might just try and follow what was underneath these two streets. And hey, that's what the whole game is. The whole game is just trying stuff, and if it doesn't work, you can fix it right up. And if it does work, good for you. And here we are on our last one. This one shouldn't be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I think that's good for now. And maybe we get some specialized industrial down here in this corner. Because remember that unemployment rate was 0%, meaning that even though there is a demand, it's not like people are actively searching for jobs. So, as I was looking at the map earlier, I do think that this is sort of going to be the limit of these loose grids and whatnot. And as we move closer to the coast here, I want to get a more dense city, which I know isn't, you know, the prettiest, but it's more realistic. Think of any city you've been to. Closer to the coast is where the downtown is and the dense areas of the city. So this is sort of going to be the unofficial line for where I want the density to begin. And I think this episode as well, what we're going to do is we're going to make an intersection on this highway and have all of this traffic, instead of coming right through our suburbs here, can come straight to the residential and out the residential, which might alleviate a fair amount of traffic. Now, down here, let's take a look at those natural resources again, which I always forget where they are. I have so many hours in this game and I still have no idea where they are. Okay, wonderful. So that is fertile land, I think. It's difficult to tell exactly. Can I like turn it off? Okay, so that is fertile land. So far what we have unlocked is just chickens, which can be set up anywhere. So let's set up a row of trees here eventually, which means that we can set up some chicken farms down here in this area and leave this open for fertile land and some farming. So even though we don't have it unlocked, we're still planning ahead for it. And I don't want to get too close to this intersection here, because back-to-back intersections just create traffic. So I'm going to try something like this, which I might be regretting as I do it. Actually, oh, I want to keep that open for a Forest Street. But then on Garland Street here, no. What am I thinking? I can just do that. No problem. Wonderful. And let's plop down a... So I don't want to get too close to that. So let's see. I really like this tool here. I do miss the tools in City Skylines 1 where you could just... Okay, I also like dragging it more. So let's just put that down and then let's expand the district this way and make all these new points. Bring that down there. Wonderful. So I'll finish this up real quick and then we can get to whatever else we have planned for today. All right, so I think we're gonna go with that, and hopefully we can get some chickens and start producing our own livestock in our city. Do we have the... So we don't have the production panel unlocked, and I'll show it to you when it does get unlocked, but this is vital in terms of, instead of importing all of our resources to... What's the word? Instead of importing our resources, we can now export some, because we'll get a surplus, hopefully. And then when we unlock farms and things that require fertile grounds, we can put that down here, and forestry here, and it's a wonderful little corner of our city that's just farms. And who doesn't like farms? Let's be honest. And let's also start expanding a little bit of industry. Let's unpause so that the demand for it and hopefully some more employment comes up, and let's slowly just expand it 1 quarter at a time. No need to go overboard or crazy. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, and see, just with that little demand for industry shot straight down. So industry is fully secured, and when demand spot goes up again, we do have an area to put it down. Next, I want to create an intersection here that connects straight to this industrial area so that no trucks are going through all of our houses here. Our happy little citizens. Do you see that? Do you see the happiness? They're so happy. God, who doesn't like Hardwood, the city? Everyone is just so happy. So, over here, I'll be honest, I'm not the best at intersections. So let's see if we can unlock... Do we have enough? 1, 2, 4. I think we have we do not have enough. Why did I lie to you? Why did I lie to everyone? We don't have enough for intersections, but roundabouts are really good. And advanced road services. And let's save the rest of our points where maybe we might need them for something else. And let's see if we can build a nice intersection here without using the prefix intersections, because we are capable and we are smart. Well, that's some would say too simple of an intersection. You'll never guess how long that took me, and honestly, if we could never talk about this intersection again, and as soon as I get the development points to get the new intersections, life would be a lot easier. But this is what we have now. It's incredibly simple. I don't even know if it works. So yeah, hopefully this will bring more traffic directly here rather than all the way down here. So let's see how that goes. Finally, we get to hit on pause and see what our people need. It looks like demand for residential is an all-time high. we're not getting as many people as before, and that's probably because all houses are built. But see, there's some spots here that could still get some residential zoning. So let's work on that, and hopefully that reduces demand a little bit. Now you'll probably see that I haven't really built any row housing or medium density housing, and that's just because the layout of these roads doesn't really fit the purpose. I would imagine medium density housing to be fixed more on a grid rather than a spaghetti like this. And we can get some down here as well across from the school. And yet that's bringing demand right down. People are moving right in. And commercial spiked up. I think we can land some commercial here as well. Usually not the best idea to put it on an arterial road like this is, but also I don't expect this road to get any busier, and it's not very busy on its own right now. More commercial? No more commercial. Back to more residential. Are there any spots that we missed? How about up here? And see, I want to get this spot fully saturated before having to worry about expanding a little bit more. In fact, let's take a peek at traffic, because I looked earlier and I knew that traffic is a big thing in City Skylines 1, and I suspect it's going to be in 2 as well. And we can see that a lot of our intersections have a lot of traffic. A really bad spot being all the way down here. And I think this can be fixed with a simple case of a roundabout. I love roundabouts. Some would say I overuse them. But if we just plop that boy down there, there should be no more slowing down and cars should just continue going forward. Now eventually maybe we bring this over and create a bridge to connect up with this arterial. However, I think I've had my fair share of intersections for today, because as you can see, you know, I'm kind of an expert on them. As long as, while it may say things, oh, it looks like there's a pile up here. Is this another spot for a roundabout? Let me think. I suspect it might be. As I said, I love roundabouts. They're a great tool, and I love this new roundabout tool that's in City Skylines 2. But as you can see, this shape is a little bit weird. So let's pause the game because we don't want anyone freaking out. And let's see if we can fix this by deleting that road, placing a roundabout down. Oh no, where are all these cars going to go? And let's see if we can mimic this road to come all the way down there like that. And that should ease up a little bit of the... Are they just driving in midair? I wish I had these driving skills. Are you guys seeing this? How are we doing for money? So we're at the beginning of the episode, I believe that we were 60,000 sims in debt monthly, and now we're only 45. When this cuts down to around 35 or 40, then it might make sense to introduce a police or fire station, just because I don't want to go too much into the negative too quickly. Let's look at our statistics again for the unemployment, because that's what I think a very important statistic, and it's at 0%. We have 1,000 employed. I'm guessing we have 2,000 jobs. Wait a second. We have 1,000 empty jobs? Maybe we hold off on building commercial and industrial for a little while if that's the case, and we can just focus on residential. And what if we do introduce them? I wasn't planning on it, but let's introduce some row houses. And I think a great spot for the row houses might be this corner over here. So let's buy the plots. And because it's a different density of housing, I want it to be a different grid. So I'm going to experiment with a few, and this is a flat area. It's perfect for what I'm thinking. So let's first start with a road that goes around this area, and we can build a grid inside and build only row houses and commercial. So if we bring this down here, just like that, And let's bring... How about 144 by 144 by 144? I do like that grid size. So what was it? It was 144, 142. How does that make sense? Game? What? 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 So we're gonna try our best to get closest to 144 as possible, but like any city all of you have ever been in, nothing is perfect and nothing is symmetrical. And if you try striving for that throughout playing this game, you're never gonna hit that. I reckon this is as close to 144 grid plots as we're gonna get, and I do really like the size of them, because often I do 200 by 200, and it's way too much. There's so much wasted space, but this time there isn't. So 144, 144, perfect. Cities are like, I was gonna say cities are like people, but I don't think cities are like people. So why isn't that straight? Your Honor. So let's finish up this grid and see what our next steps are. So we have the inner part of the grid done, and we just need to attach it to our main roads here. Now, obviously, we're not following the grid on its attachments, and that's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's plop that down like that. I don't think there's one needed in the corner there, but let's bring that down. So I reckon this is going to be our grid for our row housing, and the reason I wanted this grid to be a lot sharper than this grid here is you'll see that row housing is itself a lot sharper. It's very structured, and it's nice to have structured roads with structured houses rather than open space roads with open space houses. So let's just fill this in quickly. That is all medium density housing. That is the wrong type. That was not what was intended. I am so sorry, homeowners and land builders. Do forgive me. And let's plop this stuff down.